Hello everyone, this is Michael from the Heavy Heart Show, and I wanted to discuss the Epstein fiasco with you guys because it is obviously in the news, and I'm going to try to get right to the point. So, obviously, as we all know, we were told, oh, we're going to get the client list. We're going to get the client list. There's this cabal of blah, blah, blah. I can't really say on YouTube, but there's this client list of X, Y, and Z, and they need to be brought to justice. Now, that's true. I think we all know that's true. The only thing is, sometimes information is so disturbing that you can't tell everyone. And I think we all know this, but let's say, let's say you're a dad or a mom, and you might actually be, but let's say just hypothetically you are, and there's a family pet that got hit by a truck. Sorry for the graphic imagery here, but you had a family pet and it got hit by a truck and it flew and it exploded. It was like a terrible, violent death. As a parent, are you going to go and tell your family members that are relying on your strength that all that just happened? Are you going to tell them every little detail? Or are you just going to say, our dog died and we need to, mourn? So that's how I don't entirely see it that way. It's possible that there's just some biblical level corruption going on. That's also very possible, but that's not really the point I was trying to address, because I don't see many people saying this, although I'm sure many people are thinking it, is that even if there is video footage of celebrities or politicians, and I'm not saying there isn't footage, I'm not saying there isn't, of such individuals doing such things, it's illegal to show that to the public, because that's criminal material. So you can't just, not only is it illegal, but it's traumatizing. Because the thing is, with Diddy, and we can talk about Diddy a little bit too, but Diddy was a scapegoat. And I don't even think he really was. He was a sex freak, it seems. But trust me, guys, the people who are, doing, ritual abuse and things like that, I mean, maybe Diddy's done that, but it's not him. And if it were to, really the thesis of what I'm trying to say here is that be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Because if we all have to see anyone, it could even be someone with no power doing that to somebody on video, and we would all be traumatized. So you don't really want to see these things. And with Diddy, it's oh, baby oil, haha, meme. With John Podesta, there is no meme there. It's actually just disgusting and makes you want to bring back the gallows. So, yeah, I mean, take that for what it's worth, because everyone's for me, it's been 3 years I've known this, that probably no one is ever going to know, the extent of it. And also, something that you might be worth giving a little Google is military tribunals, which many of you probably already know. But a military tribunal is an underground military court where, let's say someone is found, let's say a senator is found selling secrets to the Chinese Communist Party. You probably don't want to just have that all in public. You want that to be dealt with privately, underground, and so the military can figure out what you've done, and that the public doesn't freak out. Because a big part of politics is deception, and making, like, not even always, like, malicious deception, but, yeah, that's pretty much the point I was making, and I hope, I used to actually really, really hope that this information would get out, and because I'd be vindicated. Because I went around a good amount, you guys remember the Heavy Heart show. I was telling people, like, oh, these people, they do SRA, blank ritual abuse and things like that. But now I realized it kind of messed me up learning that about human beings and about the world. So it's probably better if nobody does. And if, like, military officers and that's pretty much it. Like, that's the only people you really want to deal with the Epstein data. And if you need another example, Anthony Weiner's laptop. Anthony Weiner's laptop, we don't know what was on that, but whatever was on it made hardened NYPD police officers throw up. They saw so it wasn't just like, oh, this is a weird, like, oh, Anthony Weiner dresses up in dresses. That would be weird. That would be embarrassing and scandalous. But it wouldn't be making an officer throw up, because I've seen things like that before. It was something that this officer, hardened New York Police Department officer, has never seen before. If the story is true. That's the story of the Anthony Weiner laptop. That never got out. If you were to ask me why that never got out, I would say because it can't, because the public can't handle seeing something like that. So, don't ask for it. And when they say, like, ask for justice, ask for the names to be released, all that, but don't expect for those videos to just be, like, broadcast at the Super Bowl, because our country would cease to be. I'm telling you right now, we would all actually lose our minds. It would not be good. And it won't happen. It won't happen. Because, if it does, that's what'll happen. So that's why it almost definitely won't happen, and they'll keep it to themselves. Because this is what governments have always done. This is like, I love that scene from the movie The Network, where it's like, this Mr. Beale figure is, like, messing with everything. He's like if you guys haven't seen The Network, I don't have the best memory in the world, but I remember that scene for sure with Mr. Beale. He's like this news anchor, but he's like a renegade, and he keeps saying, like, we need the answers, we need the truth of this, of that, and blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, yeah, we have a man representing us. And he keeps doing that. He works his way all the way to the top. And he's basically in an office with someone who metaphorically represents Satan, pretty much. I think who that character represents. But that's besides the point. It's just, he represents ultimate authority in this fallen earth, in that scene. And he basically says to Mr. Beale that he has no idea what he is messing with, and that he's messing with the forces of nature. And while that's kind of not totally true, like, you don't take that as a gospel and say, oh, well, you should just sit on your hands and let things go by. It also is true that not everything is a children's story. Like, not everything plays out like we want it to. It plays out like it really does. And this is a perfect example of that. Like, in a storybook, we would all see the client list, and we'd all be like, we'd be wagging our finger while everyone takes the That's not going to happen, though. Because the reasons I mentioned. Mainly, it would traumatize us. And that's giving them the benefit of the doubt. The other option is that they are all corrupt, mainly Trump, and everyone is too scared to do anything about it. That's the other possibility. Like I've said, you know, keep your eyes on Jesus Christ. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys next time. Peace.